Hi, I'm Jeff Murrah, and I want to welcome you to Healthy Marriage Tips. I'm glad that you tuned in today. In our episode today, I'll be continuing my talk on shame, but today we're going to be talking about the variable of physical attractiveness. Now, I mentioned this, the poor self-concept. I talked about that yesterday because many times people struggling with shame have a poor self-concept. And they try fixing it in many different ways. Now, one way some people address this issue is to focus on physical attractiveness. Now, this creates some problems because when your self-worth is based on your physical attractiveness, one, it's a fleeting thing and it becomes a futile game, to say the least. But the other one is when we start judging ourselves by our physical attractiveness, the other thing that happens inside of our brain with the programming is that we start judging others on their physical attractiveness. Now, what attribute of physical attractiveness? Now, that's going to vary from person to person. Some people may look at size, size of the body, or how your face looks, what kind of clothes you wear. I remember one lady I encountered, she always evaluated people on whether or not they had facial hair, because if they had facial hair, they were considered ugly. If they didn't have facial hair, she'd be willing to consider them attractive. What you use to determine physical attractiveness varies. And physical attractiveness is used by many people to decide who they're going to associate with, who they're going to spend their time with. I remember going back to my graduate days at the university, I spent quite a bit of time studying physical attractiveness and the many attributes of it. And even in nursery school, they found that children will associate with other children based on physical attractiveness. So this tendency does tend to start very early. And it's not a good thing. And when your physical attractiveness is less than optimal, you tend to be down on yourself, and you falsely assume that other people notice those negative characteristics right off the bat. At that point, you start looking for who to blame. And some people end up pointing their finger at God and say, God, why did you make me this way? Or even their parents, why did you go ahead and have me, if you knew you were going to have ugly kids? That sounds terrible, but some people do that. And I want to go ahead and shoot straight with you with that. And, if you have been blessed with pleasant appearing features, you'll find that those people, although they might be pleased with themselves, they live in a constant state of anxiety and fear about their fear of losing it. As they get older, they're afraid to go out in public because somebody may see them. And you miss out on a lot of life. You miss out on a lot of living when you're caught up with that type of thinking. And this is an aspect of shame that a lot of people don't think about, but they should, because it's an important part to go ahead and consider. So I will be continuing this series on shame. If you have questions, concerns, feel free to leave it below. I'll be glad to get to it. And until next time, this is Jeff Murrah wishing you best regards. Goodbye.